Proposed contract amount. This will also not have any impact, but contract amount will have impact. So this is the place where your amounts have been captured. So 100,000 is where your contract is limited to. You can able to do one contract amount. This is an important thing. Commodity code. Region. Department. Predecessor project. Before you're creating it. If you have created any predecessor project, you can decide it. If you're entering this information, then a link will be established so that you can open predecessor project also. When you open the predecessor project, whatever you have created now will become a follow-on. We did not have any predecessor project created. You can allow adopt spend. Other than agreed amount. If you want to allow the spend, you can use this option. These are all external custom fields. These are all not a standard field which was created only for this client condition, which we are not aware, and these are all not compulsory fields. Also, we can use. So you can see contract ERPID where, as soon as the same thing which I'm mentioning and related ID this is also. They have been copied, whatever the MIP entered ID is. This is again a custom field only. Maybe they are using it. Some other references. These things will be important. Agreement date. Again, this is not a compulsory field, but effective date will be important. Suppose you are creating a contract with an effective date, of a future date, for example, I'm creating for 9, then once I publish this contract workspace, this will be in publishing state until it reaches the effective date. So effective date? If it is in the future, then the contract cannot be published. Effective date could be present or in the past. Okay, now you are going to say agreement date. So agreement date is, maybe you're having a contract created from 8/1 to March 31st, but you have agreed to these terms in last week itself, during the month of July 15th itself, which we have agreed. So agreement date is just a referencing purpose only when you have entered your agreement. But this contract is effective from this date to this date. So, whatever the span, whatever the conditions, can be controlled using effective date and expiration date. So, as I mentioned yesterday, term type fixed contract, we have an end period. Perpetual contract. If you're selecting it, then system will not ask for any end date. Auto-renew. As soon as I click on auto-renew. How many number of intervals? 12 months is my contract. How many times I try to renew? 5 times. That means 5 years. My contract will get automatically renewed. And if there is any notice period, you can mention those notice period here. So I explained yesterday you were based on your contract closure date. You will receive a notification and also during notice period also, you will receive notification. I will say fixed contract for time being. Then this is my fixed contract. 30 days notice period. I'm having 31 days of a contract. 30 days notice period will be more, so I'll just put 3 days is my notice period. Then, similarly like your sourcing project, you need to select relevant template. Templates can be created. Someone has created this one. Let's try to use it. Contract Workspace July 2023. Will you use supply regimen? Yes. So what is generally you will also notice in standard functionality also will you use supply regimen. So who will be providing you the copy of the subscription? Or basically we can call this as a notepad. Sorry, letterhead under which contract will be created. Whether the supplier is drafting the contract or the buyer is drafting the contract. If you say supplier, then you need to attach supplier's agreement into your contract and get the sign and approval done. If you say no, you are going to start the contract and you create your terms and then you are agreed by the terms by the supplier. I'll click on Create. Okay, same thing, similar to your sourcing project. This is also having Contract Workspace. You see, this ID called Contract Workspace. ID starts with CW. Whenever it is designated as CW, that is a Contract Workspace. You can also see what kind of a contract from here. If it is a sales, it will change to sales. If it is a contract request, it will change to sales. This is your project title, Contract Workspace Laptop. Contract Sales Supplier. On right-hand side you can see there are 8 incomplete tasks. In order to make publish, you have to complete this many tasks. How you can publish by clicking on Action. Action from Contract Attributes. If you click on Publish, then automatically this contract will get published. You want to change something at the overview level. You can click on Action and click on Edit Overview and change some of the details which you want to modify. Just adding some random, click on OK. So what's? There will be brand new. If you're making an amendment, you will be seeing this. The off status is currently not completed. That's why you're seeing. After you click on Publish, this contract status will change to Publish. Contract Attributes. If you want to change any of these contract attributes, you can be able to change, which will basically contain hierarchical type of your agreement. What is your contract amount affected by the supplier details? This will be found as per contract attribute. Under term attribute, you will be finding what type of contract, whether it's fixed or auto-renew. Effective date, expiry date. Here you're going to see the configurations. So when I mentioned expiry date as 31st expiration, email recipient. So, during expiration, who has to be notified and what time you want to notify. How many days you want to notify. That you're going to mention here. Also, you're going to configure notice period notices also under contract term attributes. I'm going to click on Edit Contract Term Attributes, Fixed 1 expiry and email recipient who will be receiving. Buyer 7 will receive. First receive will be 30 days before. So December 31st is my expiry date. 30 days before means I'll be receiving, starting receiving from August 2nd itself and every 7 days. So every 7th day of my starting of this thing, I'll be receiving my notification. So in this case, email notification. So first, this is a 1-month contract. Email notification I want to receive on 7 days before expiry. That means the last week I will be receiving and every 2 days I will be notified. Notice period is 3 days. So that is notice period, as the system mentioned, by your expiration date. 28th will be your notice and who has to receive the notification. You can add additional members, whoever you want to add, by clicking on Search More or Add More. Search More. You can add multiple members also into your email address. So all this email, whatever you're mentioning here, will receive a notification. Notice email first 30 days before. So we have only so. That means 27th of July itself the mail will come. So in this case I'm just saying when the email will send on one day. So you can configure. This is also a question will come in if you're in a support project. Some users say, hey, my notice period is only on 30th, but why I'm receiving multiple emails? Maybe you can verify that if there is a notice period mentioning also the contract notification will go to the users. If you want to remove, they can modify this configuration. Then they will not receive the email notification.